Ladies and gentlemen.
Ugh, that's gross. And we're back. This is Drew Sitzwitz, and I'm joined by Trenton Hansley.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Drew. Thank you very much.
No,
it's
thank
an
you.
honor.
Thank you for coming out. You're an OG to the show, and we said this is the fourth time you're doing it.
Yep, I should get a medal.
You kind of should, yeah.
A WWE belt will do. I'll take it.
I should have had a belt made and slap it on.
I had the spinner one, the spinner belt.
That'd be cool. It's got like all your artwork like around the belt. That'd be kind of sick.
The #1 Drew Crew member. Here we go.
You did coin the term Drew Crew.
Dude, it was low hanging fruit. It's right there.
You coined it, and you might be the only other person that uses it, but still, I do appreciate that.
I noticed I am the only other person that uses it. I'm like, guys, come on. We got something good here. Let's run with it.
I love it. No, you've always supported me, and we said it's been about a year since you were on the show last, so I feel bad that I haven't reached out to you more. So I'm sorry, but
it's all good, man.
I love you, brother, and you always like my stuff, and you always comment on everything and whatnot. So, and I feel like a bad friend because I only like your pictures. You always comment and like it and repost it. You do everything. So thank you.
No problem. I just, I'm not going to lie. I don't watch everything, but I'm sure to like and comment and, because I know at the end of the day, that's all the algorithm really cares about, Yeah. Inputs.
Right.
So I know
that makes me feel like you're an actual friend because
yes, because I might not have like the time or the attention span to necessarily, focus on the video.
Sure.
But the least I could do is add it to the bookmark, hit the heart button, and leave a couple emojis or say #DrewCrew. That's the least I could do.
Thank you. It's actually it really does mean a lot to me. So thank you. So yes, tell the people, Trenton, where can they find you?
You could find me mainly on Instagram and TikTok at Trentons Art. No longer Trentons Draws. It's Trentons Art now. For the sole fact, I thought about it, and I was like, if anyone's going to buy art, they're not looking up drawings or sketches or, that's what other artists might look up, but the average, person wanting to decorate their home or find a designer is not, they're going to look up art.
Not drawing. That is so funny, the verbiage. Drawing does, it seems it almost would be like Trenton Doodles, yeah.
That's like my first original name was Trenton Sketches because it has a little ring to it, but I was like,
good. Not
only am I boxing myself in, but, sketching, while, it's fundamental, it's not the real deal. I don't think I've posted a single sketch.
No, you haven't.
The finished, You
post highly polished.
Quite literally the opposite of a sketch.
Correct.
And
yeah. So no, everybody at home, seriously, check out his stuff. I mean, he's been on the show a bunch, but anybody new, seriously, it's really impressive and it's different and unique. And I mean, I can't remember the last time you were on if you really got into the photorealism as much. Maybe that was kind of right when you started to do that. But I mean, like, you've just gotten so much. I mean, you were great when you first did that God of War sketch. I think that was that one of the first photorealistic ones you've done?
You're thinking of the Minotaur, which makes sense that you think it's God of War. That makes sense. But yeah, the Minotaur was it was the Minotaur and Arthur Morgan.
Yes.
That I made. And I like looking back at that Arthur Morgan here because I thought I was hot shit when I first drew that.
I'm sure. Every time you're like 10 times better.
And now I look at it and I'm like, this looks like Tom Brady. This ain't Arthur Morgan. This looks like Tom Brady got in a bar fight and got both of his eyes blackened. That's what it looks like. But at the time, that's all you really need to keep going with something is just a little bit of, gratification, being like, this is good.
Yeah.
But you can't get complacent because even today, not like today literally, but I'm not even going to try to say it again.
Ideologically?
There you go. Thank you, Drew. I still think I'm terrible.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it is crazy because I know deep down I'm not, but at the same time, it's like, but you're you're not the best either. Like watching Talladega Nights so much as a kid wrecked me because I truly think if you're not first, you're last. So, but it's also made me the artist I am today by not saying this isn't good enough. This isn't
no,
good
when you
enough.
say you're good, that means that you actually suck, or that means that you're going to stall out, or it means that, no, you should be hyper judgmental of yourself. That's the only way that you're going to do better.
And I'm down to like little strands of hairs. I'm judging the people won't even notice it, but I'll look at either the piece itself or a picture of it. I'm like, man, that one strand of beard really makes me mad. I wish I could change it.
But that's what's so interesting about art is that it is that one final dot in the center of the eyeball or whatever it is, and you're like, that makes it look real. Or you know what I mean? Like it can make or break, like what you're saying. That one hair out of place, or just too much, whatever. It is really interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience. Not only like the art itself, but you learn a lot about yourself when you got to sit there and work on like a nose for a few hours. You really got to sit there with your thoughts and say, do you really want to sit here and draw this nose? How much does this nose mean to you? And
Right.
you find out what you're made of. Like, it sounds corny, like I'm some sort of drill sergeant.
Yeah.
But that, you got to apply that to everything you do in life to be good, So,
Yeah, no, it is sort of an endurance thing of like, because everybody, even I'll feel this way. Maybe I'm a little bit more artistically minded, but it'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to draw this, or I have a concept in my head or something. I don't know. But then it's like when you sit down and actually try to draw something and it doesn't look the way that it's in your head, after a little bit, you kind of go, oh, fuck it, But where you go, no, this is going to take what? A week, 2 weeks, a month? I mean, how long does an average project for you take? Like, you're locking in for hours every day, like you said, for a nose. That nose could take a day or two of time. It's really impressive.
I'll like say I'm drawing something with a hand. I'll sit there with my own hand and throw up gang signs pretty much for not hours, but to get just a good understanding of the angle I'm at. And that goes like, say like a glass. I'll orientate orient. What's the word? Who cares? Don't matter. Like the cylinder of it, but I'll imagine it like it's like a mortar shell or something. So that way I don't need an actual mortar shell, but I could take that glass, move it around, and see how a mortar shell would look from a specific
See how
angle.
the shadow or the glare.
The main goal, for artists is to break everything down into its simplest form and then build it back up again, I guess.
Interesting. So what are you working on right now?
Just some small, so I have a tattoo portfolio and I have a lot of, it's open space, but they're like, awkward size spaces that need to fit in between like the main pieces, I guess you would say.
On your own body, or you're just...
No, just in the portfolio itself. So like on the, so it's imagine it looks like a regular book, and I got all my designs in there. Say there's 2 main designs on one page. I'm making smaller ones to kind of fit the flow.
Fill the space of the page. Okay, I see. That's so fascinating.
And I love... It's one of my, when I finish a section of the portfolio, it's one of my favorite things to do because it basically forces you to think outside of the box. If you have a wacky shape, you just can't fit anything inside of it. So, for example, there's a shape that kind of looks like a guitar pick. So I drew a queen wasp in it because it fit it fits the shape perfectly.
Interesting.
I needed a teardrop shape. I drew a hot air balloon. It's just things like that.
Yeah. That's so cool. And that's exactly how tattooing goes as well, right? Because like you've got your katana on your forearm, right? But if you had other things in place, maybe you have that weird crook in your elbow that you just got nothing.
Right here, and then I got that back there.
What is that? I can't see it. It's a bird?
It's a dove.
Oh, a dove.
So like right now it's in a not weird spot because I still have space to put another like main before I got to start thinking about
Filler.
Yeah, not necessarily filler because
filler's like little dots or like stars and shit. Right? Okay, I see. Or shading.
These would be described as sticker tattoos. I guess that just kind of just meant to go anywhere, I suppose.
Gotcha. We were just in Florida, and we went to a wedding, and then after the wedding, we went to this bar. Right, the bar happened to be like we found out was like the 18-year-old bar. Basically, it was it was
Medusa's.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't, but it was like you could get in without them really giving a shit. So it was a lot of little kids. Right. I'm 27 now, so it's kind of like getting a little annoying, or kind of like I feel like unk in that kind of bar or whatever. But anyways, every single girl, even just while we were in Florida, I feel like every girl had like the 5 like random like the bow and arrow thing on the arm, the little flower here. It's like the same kind of tattoos. It's so funny.
See, I know people will say like these are basic. They are basic. They're meant to be. Maybe not the katana so much.
Katana's fucking badass,
but the I got it in the scorpion in this style because it's like the traditional. It's like a homage to the tattoo industry itself.
Okay.
Like I always wanted a piece in American traditional.
Okay.
Even though this isn't technically American traditional because there's no color.
Yeah.
It's still the same style, just without color.
I always said that I would get I have no tattoos, but if I would, I always thought I would do American traditional.
I think they're one of the cleanest, one of the most boring, but also one of the cleanest. So if you could, find a creative artist that could put cool things into American traditional, I think I've also been seeing dudes mixing American traditional and realism. It's the coolest shit ever.
I believe it.
It'll be like a realistic rose with a traditional dagger going through it. And it looks so cool.
That's so fascinating.
I seen one. It was like a traditional sail ship, but a realistic squid, like a crab.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and some people oddly enough, some people don't like it because there are purists out there that are like, no, one style.
Which I would probably lean towards for my own body, but just the actual visual of it, I think that is a really cool concept. The worst thing with tattoos, I think, is when like you have all just black and white, right? Or whatever. You'll see somebody with like a American traditional on the arm, a photo of his grandma on his ribs, and then like a Japanese dragon around his wrist, and you're like,
I agree,
bro.
Even though I have two different styles going on, I have more illustrative type.
Yeah,
leans more towards realism, and
that is a little bit more fine detail, I would say, where like the other two are a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
Right? But it all still flows together. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a fucking Tweety bird next to like a shotgun with like a cross. But I was saying
that's the reason they're not next. That's the reason this is on this arm and these are on this arm is because this is going to be, more traditional flash stuff, and this is going to lean more into Japanese and illustrative.
Okay. Very cool.
And then I got some on my leg that I did myself, but I don't show nobody
Classic.
Those.
I think... Is that you?
No, but they're ruining the pod.
I probably didn't get picked up on the radio. Or on the
Pod Bless America.
Okay, what do you think about that?
I think I haven't seen it, but I think it's awesome that you found a little crew and a little gang, a bunch of hooligans talking on the mics. I love it. Why not? Awesome.
Yeah, so for the folks at home, check out Pod Bless America. It's a group of other Chicago-based podcasters, and we're all kind of coming together to do like a super show, basically. So right now, we don't know if it's going to be weekly or twice a month or what. We want to do live shows. There are a lot of them. 2 of them are stand-ups. One guy's like a rapper, and then I'm the other podcaster.
And one dude's funny.
Yeah.
I don't
One
know.
of the guys is funny. You decide who it is.
I don't know how to describe him without sounding bogus.
Okay.
He's got a lot of tattoos. He's kind of crazy. Something happened with like his grandma or grandpa getting ripped off, I heard on your podcast or whatever. Yeah. He's hilarious.
Wild Phil Lasecki.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, he's a big, dumb Polish dude from the city. But yes, yeah, he had like all 5 of his family members died, and all crazy story. He's a really funny guy. And he's honestly the one that kind of came up with that idea. He did my show, then I did his show, and he was like, dude, we got to like, there's not that many of us. Like, we got to try to like all come together and like, you know, it's like when comedians come into town, they should have a show. Like, you know, if someone comes to Chicago, they don't have, you know, like when you go to Austin, you do Joe Rogan, or when you go to New York, you do whoever, you know what I mean? Like, we don't really have that in Chicago. So he's like, we got to do it. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So I tell the other guy, Ruse, who's another podcaster who's been on the show a bunch, and I've done his show. And he's like an actual go-getter. He does like 10 podcasts a month, and like he's like OCD crazy. So instantly when I told him about that idea, he made an account that's called like Chicago Podcast Clips. And he DM'd like 10 podcasts that he knew that are in Chicago. It's like, send me the clip, we'll tag it, we'll post it, and just like kind of create, you know, so it's not just one account posting videos. It's like, you know, it's at variety, right? Mm-hmm. Like, dude, that's a great idea. Like, that's awesome. You know, just get more views on stuff. Mm-hmm. Then we really started talking about it. He made a big group chat with like a bunch of the same people that he tagged in that thing. And then the very first guy that he reached out to, it was me, Phil, him, and then the first guy that was like, yeah, I'll do it. We're like, okay, let's do a show together.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I didn't pick the name. They branded it as American for whatever reason, and I kind of just was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm a patriot, you know, but I'm hoping that we don't get like, you know, MAGA allegations or Nazi stuff with it, you know. I don't think
you will, because it also reads as kind of ironic too.
I hope so, and it is. And all of us said like, yeah, like we're proud Americans, but we're not that kind of,
like, I feel like most of the, you know, population.
Of course. But yeah, I'm kind of nervous about the name. And the one guy was like, what if we do something like the Avengers? And I'm like, that's more lame than the America thing, so let's just do that. But no, so yeah, it's cool. So again, hopefully we do some live shows, which would be really cool and exciting for me, and like something different. Like, you know, I've done this for so long, and now it's like that would be kind of cool to like, you know, do it in front of an audience.
That would be neat.
Get paid, sell drinks, like have a different experience. So anyways, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because I've not said anything about that on my show yet. But yeah, check us out, Pod Bless America. We got Ruse Radio. We got Wild Philosophy, I think is his show. And then Joey is on the Hose podcast, which is kind of funny because he has another show with like 3 other people. So he's like doing 2 of these kinds of shows. But
that's a lot.
Yeah, kind of exciting. I don't know where to go from there.
How do you feel about e-bikes? Specifically actual e-bikes, not these gosh darn motorcycles these kids are riding around.
I think e-bikes are really cool. You ever ridden one before?
The reason I ask is because I got one a few weeks ago, and cool. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I've already put 400 miles on the thing.
Oh my gosh.
And all these kids are ruining it. You know, people are talking, oh, they should be registered and insured. It's like, if I have to register, if I have to take my bike to the damn DMV, I'm fighting somebody.
Sure.
Because of these kids, not only the kids, but like policy makers, whatever, county people, they don't care to learn the difference between an actual e-bike and an e-moto, basically a motorcycle that have pedals on it for decoration.
Yeah, you see those kids, they look like fucking dirt bikes.
Yeah,
and they're just burning it. Yeah.
And some of them go faster. You know what a Honda Grom is?
Yes.
It's a mini.
You go faster than a Grom?
Around the same speed. Some of those e-motos do. And, you know, the policymakers or whoever's in charge of changing the laws are not, you know, really paying attention to the difference.
Oh my gosh.
You got people calling to just ban them all, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
If I have to give my bike up or start riding it like a criminal hiding from the cops, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah. No, I could see a speed limit law,
Yeah.
which I already hate the idea of regulation, but I can see that difference, right? Like an e-bike that can go 60 miles an hour, that's a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. That's an electronic motorcycle. An e-bike that can go, I mean, what's yours, 20?
28, but you got to really work to get up there.
I believe it. So, right, find whatever that number is where it's actually realistic.
Because on the bike paths and stuff, I think the speed limit is 10. And I will admit, I do go about 13 to 15 on the paths. But I would go that same speed on a regular bike, too. Because it's not like I'm hauling. I literally just cruise.
I feel like a regular bike, you could probably go 28 miles an hour, right?
2 days ago, a biker gang almost mowed me down on the bike path. I'm talking spandex mafia of 20 of them. We should be making laws about them.
I completely agree.
Dude, I had to pull over because I was getting nervous. I was like, they're not really moving over that much, and there's 20 of them. I'm going to die like, what's his face in The Lion King, Mufasa. Just
Stampede.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they get emboldened by that big group, which I understand. Like if you're a road bike guy, having a big group, because it's like, yeah, you're protected from cars. I get that. But on a path,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, because the paths around my area, they're very windy and curvy, uphill, downhill, and luckily they all had bells, and it sounded like Christmas carols coming from a mile away. But I was like, okay, just a few. I'm not gonna, but they just kept coming, coming around this curve, and I was like, I'm getting off the bike before I get clipped and die. And then because I have an e-bike, it's going to be my fault somehow.
Right, that's the headline. E-biker gets killed by That's so interesting.
But they're so nice because before I've always loved riding bikes, but South Elgin's Hills, it's only a one-way trip on them bicycles. But now I don't have to worry about that. I could go, and people argue, oh, well, it's so much easier. It's like, yeah, that's the point. It's twice as easy, but I go twice as far. So
definitely.
So it evens out.
Yep. And also, it's kind of like the Ozempic thing where it's like, oh, we shouldn't ride, you just get a regular bike. It's like, yeah, but maybe this will help me just get started.
Yeah. My dad had 2 knee replacements in the past. Got the last one done in February of 2024.
Oh, wow.
But he's without an e-bike, he wouldn't be riding a bike. He wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
But he got one too, and he's got like 500 miles on his. He rides it so much he already popped a tire, had to replace it and everything.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And he lives we live close enough to his work that he just rides his bike to work on nice nights because he works third shift, and it's got headlights brighter than these, so he's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, is that if you start banning e-bikes, it's like...
It's also not going to stop anybody. You're just... I'm still going to ride it. I'm just going to make sure not to get caught. Those
And you're kind of wasting police officers' time.
Yeah, that's that's also what I said to... some lady posted about it on the Facebook group, and I responded anonymously because I don't do that. Facebook, everyone knowing who I am.
Yeah.
But
is that an option on Facebook, or you just have an anonymous account?
On like the group posts or whatever, like what's happening in South Elgin, whatever, you could comment and post anonymously, which I like because I don't want some crazy neighbor.
Totally.
Keying my car or popping my tires because I hurt his feelings on a social media comment.
Seriously, yeah.
But I've told her, I was like, even if we ban them or have to insure and register them, all it's doing is causing a burden on, law-abiding citizens, because all these teenagers and kids are not going to go register and insure their bikes. And we're also not going to dedicate man hours to go patrol the paths and other stuff. Because I'll be pissed if I find out my tax dollars are going to actually put, setting up a checkpoint at the bike path. I'm gonna be. How about we just start locking up parents? That'd be a good start.
Or and there's going to be a guy in the bushes with the speed gun waiting for the e-bike to zip past him.
It's like you get caught doing whatever you're doing on those bikes, punishment goes to the parents. I bet the shit stops real quick.
Yeah, who did that? I I want to say it was Kamala Harris when she was the DA in California. I might be confusing stories, but basically she tried to pass a law where if your kids were truant, you could be arrested. The parent could be arrested, which I'm not 100% opposed. Arrested seems crazy, but maybe like fined or something like that. Like, but I understand that like if your kid keeps skipping school, it's like, no, it's kind of on you, like to get them to school. So I kind of agree with that. But I think it was Kamala Harris because it was like, she's acting like this cool liberal lady who's like, oh, come on, be nice. But then it's like, you were trying to like arrest people at work and shit because their kid skipped school. But what I was going to say is that if you start banning these e-bikes, that all these people that are commuting to work that way, like your dad and plenty of, I mean, people ride bikes all over the town. It's like, you're going to just like, oh, well, then I just won't do that anymore. Like,
and how many people, unfortunately, have gotten, DUIs, and obviously you shouldn't be drinking and riding a bicycle. But I'd rather have somebody riding or an e-bike, if their addiction is that bad, I'd rather have them on a bicycle
than a car.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even that, say some people did, turn that corner and try to, do better. What we're gonna say, you can't get around now.
Right. Let's make your life 10 times harder.
Exactly. At least the least we could do is let you ride around on an electric bike where you're where that'll take you farther, so your only job options aren't in a 5-mile radius. Now you got 20-mile radius, 30 miles, depending on your bike and how much time you have to ride.
Yeah. But I wonder what the DUI laws are like in China. Like, is there even drinking driving laws? I don't even know about that. I would assume in England and like, Western European countries, there's DUI laws, but like,
I think,
like Mexico, are you getting DUIs in Mexico?
Only if you don't give the policeman $100.
Exactly. Right? Thailand. I bet you could probably bribe your way out of a lot of shit in a lot of countries.
I think China, yes, because I did see a video of a dude riding his bike because I guess they have designated bike lanes there, and it's like strict.
Okay.
He was riding it in the car lane, and these cops rolled up on him like he was selling drugs, you would think. And they're like, no, I'm not going to do the accent. Not going to do the accent. Got to catch myself there. But they said, like, you have a punishment now, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I would imagine if you're going to get a punishment for riding in the wrong area, they're probably going to hit you with something hefty for a DUI.
Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, you can get a DUI on a bike in the United States, which kind of sucks, but I kind of believe it. But so we got bikes, and we love them, riding around, going to dinner and stuff like that. But there was one night where we had a couple drinks before we left, went to dinner, but we're on the bike, we're not driving, who cares? And but when we got back, Riley was like, yeah, we can't do that again. Like, that's how you get seriously hurt, or something stupid happens, or so we still like riding the bikes, go to the beach and stuff, but
I remember
it's not a get out of jail free card. You can't just get fucking hammered and ride the bike.
I remember being younger trying that. It never turns out well. I remember clipping the sidewalk and just eating it.
Dude, I love a bicycle. Just like a driver's license, it's freedom. As a kid, if you get a bike, it's like, I got wheels.
I remember the first time I rode to Bartlett when I was a kid. Not a kid. I was in 8th grade, and I rode my bike. It wasn't like downtown. It was whatever neighborhood's right there on West Bartlett Road.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't crazy far.
Still counts as Bartlett though. You crossed.
But I remember I was like, man, I could go to Mexico if I want.
Yes.
But I remember how I felt, just feeling free, and then getting yelled at by my friends' parents because my parents, they grew up in a different time. They grew up when it was normal to ride your bike from sun up, sundown. Don't get hit, be smart,
Yep.
But my friends' parents, not the same way. They're like, you rode your bike all the way here, and then they loaded my bike into their truck and drove me home.
That's why the United States is a bunch of pussies. It's like, I get like trying to take care of kids and not letting them get kidnapped and all that sort of stuff, but there's a little bit of a middle ground,
Yeah.
he can ride his bike home. Maybe he gets punished when he gets home, but no, you rode you rode your bike there, ride your bike home.
I wanted to ride home. I was like,
of course.
No, it's no problem. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But it was probably also a liability issue. They're like, if this kid gets hit after leaving our house.
Maybe. But again, dude, my friends' parents, when they were kids, they wouldn't have driven up. They would have been like, get the hell out of my house. No, you can't stay here. Go home. I'm not.
Leave the way you came.
Right.
They'll say, you rode it here, ride it back.
Yeah. No, I had like a big grid. It was like all like the big roads in Bartlett. It was like, you can't go past 59. You can't go past 20. You can't go past, it's like I had this like box basically that I had to stay in, which of course I ended up riding outside of that a little bit, but
going to no man's land a little bit.
Yeah, but it was like it kind of made sense. Like, okay, you can't cross these busy roads. Everything inside of that, you're golden. I spent a lot of time on my bike. I loved it. I mean, it's just so fun. I remember one summer I popped like 3 tires on my bike, and it was like boom, boom, boom. And my parents got so mad at me because like, what are you doing? Why are you popping all these tires? And there was like these big gaps where I didn't have a bike, and it was like, all my friends are like riding down the street. I'm like looking out the window like, no, we'll come back.
And it was always when that would happen to me, because I grew up a little chubby, right? And nobody was down to have me on their pegs.
Sure.
So it was double bad news for me when the bike was in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I never had pegs on my bike. I always had the mountain bike because I'm such a tall guy, Where my friends had the cool little BMX bikes, and I was always so jealous. Like, oh, Mom, come on, let me get one of those. But then my knees are like up to my, handlebars.
Yeah, I had a BMX. I couldn't do any tricks, though. I could, like, pop off of curbs. I wouldn't consider that a trick, though.
That's why I kept popping all those tires.
Yeah.
I'm hopping every curb I can.
You can't see it because I have a hat on, but I have a scar right here from when I accidentally ran myself over on a bike. I was maybe 10, and I popped a curb, but I came down with the wheel slightly turned, and it made me jam, and I flipped over the handlebars, but the bike kept bouncing and rolling, and I ran myself over and gouged my head. And my dad was so pissed because he's like, you're wearing your helmet. And then I got down the street, took the helmet off, and threw it in a bush.
Right. Yeah, we don't wear helmets, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, we should probably wear helmets when we ride the bikes. There's also a decent amount of traffic here. This isn't just a little Bartlett neighborhood. Like
definitely here. I think I'd wear one, but at the same time, I don't know what streets you guys. Are you guys riding on Dempster? You guys are crazy. If
no, I would not ride on Dempster. No, and we know the back roads and stuff, and which we do that. And I don't want to ride on the main streets anyways because. Like you said with China, where it's like there's a bike lane and you have to follow the bike laws and you have to do the armed thing and turn. I'm like, I
feel so goofy doing the armed
I just want to ride the bike, so we'll take 2 minutes longer to get there and take the back roads. Also, that's kind of the point of riding the bike in my mind. Is like, no, we're gonna like take the scenic route and we're gonna look at the houses.
That's what I tell my dad when we go for rides. I'm like, dude, it's not a race. If you want to, beside the fact that there's other people on the path, we shouldn't be going 20. Is slow down, smell the roses, hear the birdies. I
don't know, the e-bike, I feel like I'd be flying.
There are like I have my spots where I fly, but a lot of the time in the path, the whole reason I'm taking the paths is to like take it in. Because there's one spot on the South Elgin Trail going towards St. Charles, there's this one little spot where it's nothing but fallen trees, but it's the chipmunks hangout spot, and I love it there. You see like 10 every day, and they're just scurrying around.
That's awesome.
And did you know that chipmunks will stand up like meerkats?
I feel like I have seen that, yeah.
It cracks me up every time I see it. That is great.
That's so fun. I love that trail on the river. It's so nice.
It's hard you can't stay in a bad mood.
It's true. Smoked a lot of weed out on that trail in my days.
That is another, I wouldn't say issue because I don't really care, but everyone's getting high now. Everywhere I go, I'm smelling it, and it's like, I don't really care, but come on, folks.
Yeah, have a little bit of discretion.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, if you're at a nature preserve, in one of those nature preserve parking lots or whatever, again, I spent a lot of time back in my day in high school and whatnot, smoking in those places, it's like half the people are smoking, 10% of the people are fishing. There might be like another 10% of like old women, and then there's like people like trying to have sex. I feel like it's the only people that are going to forced preserves.
I think what I hate about it the most is when I'm driving and I could smell it from the car in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. I get it. It's legal, but not in the context in which you're using it.
Correct. Yeah. Right. We got the legalization done, brother. We did it, and now you're making us look bad because you're smoking a fucking backwood in your car, blasting music at the red light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hate that too. I used to love smoking and driving though. As terrible as that sounds, smoking a joint, the windows down, sunroof up.
I never did it while I was the driver. So
Smart.
Maybe that's why I like it as well. Maybe I would have a different opinion if I was the driver. But that's because I didn't grow up with, like, when I was a teenager, I didn't have my own vehicle.
You didn't have a car, okay.
So I never had the opportunity to. I'm sure I would have. Probably would have liked it.
Yeah.
But also knowing me, I probably would have gotten in trouble too, just like everyone.
Totally.
You know, you get got at least once. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you did, but I know I did many times where I wasn't the driver, and all I could imagine is, man, if I was the driver, I'd be so screwed right now.
Yeah, I got pulled over a couple times. I was never actually high, but one time I did. I think it was one time. I did have weed in my car, and the guy. Do you know Officer Nelson, South Elgin? Sure, I think we probably talked about it before.
He's my arch nemesis right there.
Exactly. Oh, same to me. He would wear those yellow glasses.
Yeah, and his stupid gray undercover squad car. Things burned into my brain. It haunts my nightmares.
Totally. Yeah, I hate that motherfucker. But anyways, so yeah, he pulled me over. I was really like going home on a Sunday morning, driving whatever, and I was going like 10 over or something. Pulled me over, and it was, I want to say like 4th of July or Memorial Day weekend, something like that. It was like a long weekend, right? And I still feel like he was profiling me because I had a shitty car. I had like a really old, shitty, rusted out car. And I got pulled over. And in my trunk, I had like, I think it was like literally like 2 beer bottles, a hard cider can, and then I had like this much, like a half a gram of weed or something, right? And some like rolling papers and lighters and stuff.
He threw the book at
literally.
You, didn't he?
He towed my car, all this stuff. I went to the police station. I remember he splayed it all out on the countertop and like took a picture of it as if it was like bricks of cocaine, right?
We got El Chapo.
It was crazy. I have a mugshot too from that and fingerprints.
Really? They did you went through the whole thing?
I didn't even get a DUI. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning or like 9 o'clock in the morning. And my parents picked me up, and I remember he told my parents, he's like, your son has been living like a rock star. I was like 18 years old, or maybe I was 17 because they called my parents. I was probably 17, but it was a long weekend. Like, it was like, I wasn't living like a rock star. I was living like a normal teenager. But anyways, I hate that guy. But I never got a DUI. Knock on freaking wood, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I smoked a lot while I was driving, but I never got in trouble for that.
That is something he would do, throwing the book at everything he can.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, your son is living like a rock star. It's like,
if I was living like a rock star, you think I'd be driving this, Nelson? Come on, let's use our brains.
Yeah. That car, my dad bought me that car, which I love them for doing this. And like you said, you didn't even have a car, right? Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to have that shitty car, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember it was $1,300 is how much the car cost.
Sounds about right for the time period.
Yeah, is that crazy? Back
when things were going okay, I suppose. Or you could get a little beater for $2,000 and be, satisfied that it's not going to kill you.
Right. I had to fix it here and there and put some money into it, but yeah, it ran. It got me from here and there. It wasn't terrible. Could you get a car for $5,000 maybe, like on Facebook Marketplace or something? Probably.
Yeah, mine was worth $6,000.
Okay. So yeah, there you go.
Even though I still think I overpaid for it, but I needed a car because my other car was leaving me stranded, and I was like, I'm willing to pay the extra how much I'm getting ripped off for the security of knowing this thing's gonna start and drive when
you have to.
Yeah, so
it's like a cell phone or like a place to live. Like you have to have it. You can't not do it.
So I was like, whatever, I'll take it. But at the same time, the only thing I really wish I had was the AC, man. Because when I bought it, because all that happens is it blows the outside air in.
Yeah.
But when I had bought it, it was the beginning of October. So when I turn the AC on and it's blowing cool October air, and I'm like, oh, the AC works. Mm-hmm. Should have tried the heat too, and I would have quickly learned that neither of them work.
Heater doesn't even work?
But I have heated seats, so I'm chilling.
That's hilarious.
I have heated seats.
You're literally chilling.
I have heated seats and a heated steering wheel. So the only thing that really gets cold in the winter is my face.
Okay, so, I mean, I hate to be your dad here, Trenton, but the heater, I don't know much about cars. Heater should work. I would assume something's broken on it that you should be able to fix easily.
It's a vent stuck open. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's some sort of gear actuator or something that moves it to open and shut for the different settings.
Yeah.
In the, there's a million of them nowadays.
Okay.
It's just stuck wide open.
Yeah, because I feel like the heat should work no matter what, because it's like pulling heat off the engine or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but like the things that would.
Yeah.
Because I forget.
And you haven't thought about fixing it.
Dude, this is the furthest I've driven. It's not because if I have to go anywhere east, like to the city, I take the train.
Smart.
And anywhere else I have to go, I'm usually going with someone and I have them drive.
Okay.
There's another thing, I don't know if you know, I cannot drive at night.
Really?
I go blind.
Do you have bad eyes? I mean, I know you have glasses on, but
yeah, they're terrible.
But you're an artist. I just assumed that you'd be able to see.
Which is exactly why I don't film my process, because my face is usually about 5 inches from the paper.
Wow.
Say this is the paper. I'm right here.
Wow.
And at nighttime, all these lights, they make it 10 times worse. My depth perception gets thrown all the way off at nighttime. I can't, like at daytime, I could tell if a car is coming at me. At nighttime, I cannot. The lights just stay the same size. Obviously, when they get close enough, they'll light me up. Mm-hmm. But I cannot gauge speed at nighttime. It's hard, and it makes me nervous.
Yeah, that is scary. I delivered for so long, and I would drive at night and stuff all the time, and the lights drove me crazy. And I ended up getting a pair of glasses, but I mean, I should probably go back now and see. But I would never wear them because it was so annoying. Because especially delivering, I got them but then I'd take them on and off every time I'd go into the restaurant. So it was like it ended up just being annoying. But at nighttime it was like I could tell my eyes were straining, and the lights do bother me. I don't really drive at night anymore now that I think about it. Now that I say that, but. I'm sorry. I want to transition to talk about your mom, but I don't know how to do that.
She died. She's gone. It's all right. It happens. She's, it's actually a miracle that she survived this long. I know it sounds crazy, but, I told her her ailments or whatever, and, each one of those could have taken her out at any different time. So, like I said, you think you're prepared, but you're not. But at the same time, I feel like I was more prepared than, say, a freak car accident or something like that, because I was like, if anything's going to take her out, it's most likely going to be one of these complications. But yeah, one thing that I would say sucks about her passing is that my routine was heavily built around helping her, and I made my best artwork when I knew she was good. And now that she's gone, I feel very antsy when I draw, and I think I'm going to gravitate towards more like gesturative, not as refined. Like, how we were talking about how my stuff's very precise and refined now. Yeah, I'm struggling to sit down and do it.
So. Did you live with your mother before she passed?
I was, I wouldn't say primary, but me and my dad, we were like a team taking care of her.
Right. Okay, so So you were taking care of your mother, who had been sick since you were a kid, right?
Since I was 7.
Wow, that's terrible.
She was diagnosed with Mueller-Weiss disease and vascular necrosis.
Oh, okay. Explain it. What is it? What is that?
Essentially your bones. Well, your veins stop supplying white blood cells to your bones, and you know that Glass Bones character from SpongeBob.
Yes, I do.
That was me, mama.
That's so terrible.
And eventually, which leg was it? The left leg got so bad it had to be amputated, and the right leg had it as well. But she said, "Fuck that! I'm not being a double amputee." So
Was she in a wheelchair?
Yes, wheelchair, crutches, and then she had a prosthetic leg.
Oh, she did. Okay.
And she walked. She was the best from probably ages from when I was 8 till 16. Because once she got the cancer, she dropped weight like crazy and couldn't fit in her prosthetic leg anymore. And I don't know if you know them. You can't just go out and buy a new pair of prosthetics.
No, those are like $20,000 or something,
and they're like custom fit to your muscle structure. However, your bone was cut. It's down to because they are very uncomfortable.
Oh, I believe it.
It's peg legging basically. Like we talk about riding bikes. You know how uncomfortable you get after an hour on the seat,
Sure.
just due to all that. That pressure on one spot.
Yeah, on your nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Imagine all like your body weight just on one bone.
That's already.
Yeah.
It's already weakened. It's.
Yeah. Like
So did she? Was she breaking bones or fracturing bones because they were weak?
She was. She was a dump truck driver for a construction company, and she hopped out of the truck and basically cracked her ankle.
Oh.
And and then that's when we found out.
Oh. That's so terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that Trent. I mean, that's just terrible. So for 20 years she's been sick essentially before she passed away. All these complications, breaking bones, amputations, cancer. She got cancer separately from that, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was that?
She had cancer of the epiglottis. It's this stupid little muscle in your throat that basically controls. So like when you swallow food or water or you drink it. It somehow knows which way to go.
Correct.
It was the muscle that controls that.
It's like how astronauts can still swallow because it like keeps pushing the food down even though you're in zero gravity.
Yeah, it was that. And she did radiation treatments, surgeries, the whole shebang over that summer. And she beat it. But she was never able to eat. Well, she could, but it was always super risky. She was susceptible to choking a lot. So, like, I got very used to hearing certain sounds at, like, dinner time that most people would find, unappealing or, in other words, just straight up gross. But that's
like coughing and hacking stuff up.
Yeah. But, I got used to it. That's, I think, dealing with all that stuff, I don't like saying dealing. It sounds like it was a burden. Wasn't, that's my mama. I took care of her. That's life. But
no, but that was a burden. You can admit that it was a burden. I'm sure that was very hard for you.
It was, but the reason I say it's not is because it was since I was 7, so I guess I can't imagine it any other way. Like it's life for me.
And you did it because you loved her, of course, but it's still a burden. It's not easier. It's harder. So you did that.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. I'm sorry,
but
I'm trying to make you not feel so bad.
I mean, I don't really. It's not that I don't feel. Obviously, it sucks, but like I said, like we knew somehow, some way, one of these were gonna take her, but we just didn't expect it to be bang, bang, bang.
That is, Yeah, it's weird because it's such a long, drawn-out process, and then it was so abrupt.
Especially when you got nurses coming twice a week, checking it out, and they're like, yeah, she's all good. You know, we got the one nurse, we got a physical therapist coming, and, you know, she's got all these other doctor's appointments we take her to or whatever, and no one's seen nothing.
So does any part of you kind of resent those nurses because it's like, how the fuck did you not catch this?
Yes and no. I say yes because it is, you know, I guess their duty, but also no because my mom didn't even know.
Right, you said that
you get what I'm.
She was uncomfortable, but she was always uncomfortable, so she wouldn't have noticed.
They're asking any pain here, and she's saying no. You know, what are they to do?
Right,
you get
it's
what
not putting up any red flags. Okay,
yeah.
Good
So
point.
yes and no, but also no because dealing with it since I was so young, you get used to just nurses bullshitting you and doctors giving you the runaround. That's terrible. Know, so. Like in the emergency room when it all went down, we're telling like the ER doctor, like, quit the fucking big words, just tell us what's going on. Quit trying to explain it, and we've been through these situations before. Just say what it is. We'll deal with it.
Cut the shit.
Yeah. And yeah,
that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, that's just horrible. Nobody should have to deal with that at your age. It's hard.
Well, I appreciate the condolences. It means a lot.
Of course. So this is a little morbid, but is there any relief? I mean, she was living in pain for years, you know?
Yes, but not in the way that I had anticipated it. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, yes, there were times I did get frustrated, times I would get upset. Like in the last few months of her life, because after she had the last surgery, she would have to be on a pump feeder for 12 hours a day. That went to sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning. And since my dad worked third shift, guess whose job that was? Mine. And so obviously there was times I would get upset and angry, and sometimes I would imagine it would be like, man, it's going to feel like a weight lifted off my shoulders, but it really didn't, because I feel like my brain is still trying to wrap around the fact that it actually happened this time. Because my brain is so used to, oh, mom's sick, going to the hospital, we'll go visit her, come home, she'll come home eventually. And I don't think my brain has really done the realization, like, hey, bro,
right,
this time ain't coming home.
Right, because you have to help her and deal with her. But then when she gets sick and goes to the hospital, oh, it's a little bit of like a break. It's a little bit of a vacation. So that's but eventually it'll come back. But no,
that's what it feels like. It's like it's going to come back, even though I know it's not. But that's just how like my nervous system, I guess, feels.
Yeah, I'm sure you and your dad are both kind of almost like, I think you said restless maybe, or antsy or something.
Yeah, very antsy.
Yeah, it's just like
can't stay still for extended amounts of time.
And so your parents were married the entire time?
They were going. She passed away like 2 weeks before their 37th anniversary.
So wow. So, I mean, you don't have to talk about. But what does your father think about this?
He is. I feel like most husbands, you know.
Why'd I even ask the question? I mean, it's like,
but no, you're right, because our situation was a lot more different than your traditional, you know.
It was his wife, but it was also the person that he was taking care of.
And
right,
obviously he's sad. But just like me, even though we got mad and stuff from time to time, we do kind of miss it.
Of course.
Because, like I said, even though you get mad, that's like you built your life around that.
Right.
Like, I'm so sunburnt because for the last, like, 3 years, my skin really hasn't known the sun that much.
Right.
And then since mom's passed, I've been outside basically all the time. So it's
that's awesome, and I love that you guys are riding bikes together. I mean, that's like a perfect way to spend the extra time. You know, that's beautiful, really.
And you know, it's just we're each just trying to navigate it our own way, because we're the type of people we'll talk about it, but we're not going to have like a little therapy session, I guess, over it. And
I'm sure the house is quiet.
Dude, it's so quiet because my mom was also losing her hearing, so the TVs were always cranked to 100.
Jeez.
And now and all of her machines, you know, you get used to the beeps and the buzzes, and now it's gone. It's like, man, this is weird.
The birds stopped chirping.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. That's so hard, man. Oh, Lord. So that was a couple months ago, you said, right?
Yeah, March 21st. So
very fresh.
Just over like 2 months and a week or something like that.
Oh, wow. Did you guys do a ceremony or?
Yeah, we did the whole wake and then had a funeral the next day.
Open casket?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so hard, man. I've been to a couple of those.
Oh, dude, I almost killed the funeral director. He AI'd my mama.
What do you mean?
The picture you send them, I guess they tried to digitally enhance it using AI, except they fucked up, and somehow my mom's photo ended up with green eyes. And when I tell you, I sent a very first I sent a strong email, and then I was like, fuck that, I'm calling them. Gave them a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't think we used it. I was like, don't bullshit me. I look at these types of pictures every day of my life. This is kind of what I do, all right? If you didn't use...
She didn't have green eyes.
Yeah.
She has green eyes in the picture.
Yeah, so explain to me how. And they were just like, we'll fix it. And then they sent back. And I was like, just use the photo I sent you. Quit trying to be an editor. You're a damn funeral director.
Literally. Also, we want to remember her the way that she looked.
Yeah, that was one of like my mom. She had blonde hair and bright ass scary eyes that when she would give you that motherly look, it went right through your soul and literally right through you.
Yeah. So open casket. So like I said, I've gone to a couple of these, like my grandfather. When I was devastated, but when I saw him in the casket, it looked like a completely different person. Did you have that same experience?
Yeah, because, you know, my mom, I'm not going to sit here and say she stopped taking care of herself, but she stopped caring about trivial things like makeup. She quit wearing makeup.
Yeah, of course.
She quit wearing makeup later in her life. She quit doing her hair every day. Obviously, she would keep it brushed and stuff. So it wasn't so much that it was her looking, I guess, like she would have 10 years ago.
Okay, right, because they did actually doll her up and put makeup on and stuff. Okay.
But other than that, I do agree she did, you know, but, you know, I know there's only so much they could do regarding, you know.
Right. Well, what I was going to say is with my grandfather, like, he looked much more gaunt. Like, it looked like he didn't have any, like, you know, it looked like he didn't have any life in him. It looked like he was like a deflated balloon almost. And me looking at him was just like, that was a big part of being like, okay, he's dead and he's gone. This is his body, but that's not the person I knew. You know what I mean? So that kind of, I want to say helped me, but it was like, definite, like, no, he's gone. So I didn't know if you felt the same way or not, but I know a lot of people don't do open casket, and I kind of go back and forth, like, it's fucked up and it makes you hurt so much more, but it's like, is it better to hurt more now than later? But I also still hurt a lot later, you know? So it's like,
I think I might be the only one that thinks I wanted them to open it again when at the funeral, because I was like, I want to make sure no funny business is going on and that my mom's going where she needs to go.
Right.
You know.
So she was buried. It wasn't cremation.
She was buried.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I was the last one to leave the funeral home at the end of her wake, and it was like an all-day thing, wake all day, and then the funeral's the next morning. I was the last one to leave because I didn't want any funny business going on. I didn't want no cousins going in there stealing rings and stuff.
Sure.
And then when I left, I went and asked the lady, I was like, close this up and lock the door, like the casket door, but then lock this door too. And if anyone else tries to come in, don't let them.
Wow.
Because I was protective over my mom. I didn't play no nonsense, even life and in death.
Mm-hmm. No, that's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, my gosh, that's so terrible. It's such a crazy thing, man. It's like, you know, what the fuck is this? You know, like we're on a podcast talking about nonsense, whatever, and then it's like, but and you got about 80 years. Your mother didn't even get that far. You know, it's like if you're lucky, you get 80 years. You know,
got 60, almost 61.
But for it's pretty good for her situation.
It is.
In all honesty,
like I said, it was a miracle that she got this far, because there were a lot of times, not even just regarding her action, she's had other hiccups, like I said, with the choking. There were a few times where, like, is she really about to be taken out by a piece of lettuce right now? Seriously? There was another time she got a real bad bloody nose that was so bad that she literally almost drowned in her blood.
Oh, my Lord.
Because she could not
swallow.
Yeah, she could not swallow, so she would have to, you know.
Oh.
And literally, I heard her gurgling and stuff in my backseat, and I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm whatever tools the ambulance has, even if it takes a minute longer for, like, say me driving to the hospital is 5 minutes, then to get here 6 minutes. We're willing to wait that extra minute for the suction tools that they have.
Just to get you out of that pain for that.
Yeah, because it was bad. I was like, oh my God, my mom's about to drown on her blood in my backseat. This is nuts.
It's so traumatic because it's blood. You know, it's like it's red. You can just see it and you can feel it and you can taste it. And you're just like, oh.
Well, with that being said, at the same time, like with all her ailments growing up and seeing all these things, I have such a strong stomach. It is like just the things that most people would find gross, and I'm like, you find that gross? I'll show you gross, you know?
Right. You say you have a strong stomach. Your mother had a tube into her stomach.
Oh yeah, literally.
You know, like, yeah.
But yeah, it takes a lot to, like, give me the heebie-jeebies, I guess.
I believe it. I believe it.
Even like with my mom's having that tube, sometimes the tube does pop out, and it literally looks like a bullet hole. And when your heart beats, it literally looks like I'm in Iraq in Fallujah in 03, and it's pulsating with every heartbeat.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy the things you get used to in those situations.
Sure. But again, all of that's going to make you. It's made you the man that you are. First and foremost, and second off, it's going to make you a great father because, like you said, you've got thick skin, you got a good stomach, and you know, doesn't matter what happens. You know, you've seen so much worse than whatever that little kid's gonna.
I mean, I might let out a gag or two, but it's not gonna take me out.
Right. Well, all right, Trenton. We're just over an hour.
Oh my goodness, we did it!
I know it flew by. It was really great to see it. And I'm glad that we actually talked about this because, you know, I would say we're friends, and I didn't know anything about that. So I'm sorry. I've said it 1,000 times.
I tried not to be one of those people getting online and not. This is fine, but I'm saying,
of course. No, this is like an homage. This is like an in memoriam to your mother. I think it's beautiful.
Like I put it on my story, or whatever, just because I had a lot of friends growing up, and you know, some did come to the service or whatever. But I wasn't gonna be the type of person to like make an art piece about. Like I have my holy shit. What? I forgot your print.
It's okay.
No, because the Pegasus, since we're talking about my mom with the little time we have, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
she
okay.
made that Pegasus. She was the first. I remade it after she died. The first version she painted, and I forget if it was a cousin's bedroom or my brother's bedroom.
So she was artistic.
Yeah, but she never told anyone. She had it hidden. And then when she passed away, I was looking through all the photo albums or whatever, and she had it hidden deep within this one.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, you sneaky sneak. I'm letting the world know.
That's awesome.
So I remade it, and that was the one you chose.
That is the one that I chose.
And I forgot it.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's why it's titled Mother's Pegasus.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious that I picked that.
I'll mail it to you because now I feel like an asshole jackass.
You don't have to mail it to me. It's okay, brother. I promise you. I did notice when you walked up, but I was like, don't ask. It's not a big deal. But I did think that piece was awesome, first and foremost. And I jokingly told you that my fiance was like, yeah, we're not having the... What's the camp with the sludge and the shooting, hunting? What is it?
I call it Fallout.
Fallout, yeah.
Yeah, because it's mostly inspired by the whole game and TV show.
Right, radioactive
it's got some
Fallout.
deeper meanings in there, but that's the whole gist of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the deer is like radioactive and stuff. But my point is, because for the people at home, Trenton asked me to get a piece. He was going to give it to me, which you also gave me my other Drusus with a piece, which is awesome. Yeah, because I wanted to hang it up because obviously this is a nice piece of art.
She also didn't want a lamb with its throat slit with 7 eyes.
You've got a lot of interesting pieces, and that was one that she did like.
No, I get that some of my stuff is not meant to be hung in the living room per se.
Sure, yeah. Once I get the studio, we'll get some more.
Yeah, that's better.
Trenton draws or Trenton art. What is it?
Trenton's art.
Trenton's art. We'll get some more of that in the studio, but that is so fascinating. That's the piece that I picked, and it's the one that you in homage to your mother. Wow. Okay. So again, check them out online. TikTok. Your TikTok's really awesome, dude. I love it. And your Instagram's pretty much the same thing, but very cool stuff. Anything in the future for the people to look out for?
Like I said, because I'm so antsy now and I really struggle to sit down and do my precise work now, be on the look for massive paintings where it's not precise at all, and it's going to be weird and something that I need to do, I guess, to reset.
I love that. That's awesome. What about your website? How can they buy your art?
Okay, you could go to, get ready, folks, grab your pen and pad. It's Trentons.art-printify.me.
Okay.
The reason I do that is because, like I said, with taking care of my mom that much, money was tight, and I couldn't really afford a custom domain and had the whole thing rolling, so I went with a print-on-demand thing that also gives you a free little URL to work with and list your products, and
cool.
That's what I went with.
Yeah, I mean, no explanation needed, brother. I think that's a very simple URL to find. So Trenton.art-print.
Yes, it's
damn it.
It's Trenton's.art/printify.html. You know what? You'd be better off finding me on Instagram at Trentons.art and just clicking the link. There you go.
Definitely.
Folks.
And watch his videos. They're really cool. You said you don't post videos of you actually drawing, but like you do cool like throughout
every once
stages.
in a while I'll fake a video. That's all those videos you see me.
You're like licking the tip of the pen as you draw.
They're fake. I'll literally do it, and then I'll put the camera real close, and then just barely go over it again to make it look like I'm doing it.
You've already shaded it, but you're kind of just pretending.
That's literally what I do.
No, but the videos are cool, and all your pieces are really cool and very unique, and your personality shines through, but every picture is a little bit different than the next, and it's very cool. So check them out. Okay, and check out my Pod Bless America.
Yes,
please.
Pod Bless America. We want you.
I like that. I love that.
Pod Bless America. We want you.
We are out.
Ladies and gentlemen.